Did you have your first drink last night? Are you hungover? Is that the
I have
problem?
no idea who I am.
Incognito.
Hi everybody, welcome to Grumpy Old Men. It's very, very bright out there today.
Yep.
Can I do the show in my sunnies?
It's your channel, dude. You do whatever you want.
Oh, by the way, thank you very much to CK and the good people at Banyan Tide. Didn't you get the memo that we've got a sponsor?
There's no black shirts. We're in mourning. He doesn't sell black shirts.
Okay, so yes, you're making me look very bad culturally.
I didn't pick out your wardrobe. I'm not making you look bad.
Oh, God, it's
He
bright.
did a video yesterday, by the way, about a drone and fireworks display in honor of Her Majesty Queen Sirikit.
I made a video.
No, CK.
Oh, CK. Oh, okay.
His channel is Cecology. And it was very interesting. I had some quibbles with it. But he's learning Thai. It's interesting if you've been watching him for the past year or so that he's been broadcasting from Thailand. And his Thai pronunciations are getting much, much better. And he brings an enthusiasm and a joy to his videos that's sadly lacking. Most of our genre is very dour and cynical and mean. And he's not. He's always bright and happy and praises everything he sees, even if he doesn't always understand what he's looking at. He praises it.
Does
And,
anybody?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, philosophically anyway. So at any rate, I recommend that Cecology.
He also runs a little business selling shirts. So there's a link in the description. There are 5 different shirts. They're very, very comfortable, easy to wear. Don't have to iron them, boys. And they dry very quickly. And they're not hot and sticky.
This is not one, but yes, I have his shirts and wear them.
Yes.
Yes.
So thank you, CK and Banyan Tide. So I was just going to talk very briefly about my shitty day yesterday.
Aw.
Because
I'll play the violin while you speak.
Thank you. I want lots of sympathy.
That I cannot provide.
No, I know
I'm
that.
pathologically unable to do that. But
Unempathetic. Anti-empathetic? What's the...
yeah, sociopathic.
Yes, that'd be about right. So I was about to do my live program yesterday with my thousands of people eagerly waiting for me to appear, all 3 of them.
Oh, yes, Tim, why didn't you do a program yesterday? I sat there and I waited and I saw nothing.
Yeah, you were just like hanging for
Yeah,
9 o'clock.
I was all day
9
long.
o'clock.
I sat in front of my computer waiting.
And I got a message from a customer, the bathroom is flooding water everywhere. I went, oh, God. So I go there and indeed the tap faucet that feeds the water into the cistern of the toilet, I think YouTube will now restrict me for saying the word toilet. And the Americans don't use the word, they say
Sure
the
we do.
bathroom.
Well, we use both. Yeah,
Okay,
toilet
all right.
is heard.
But yes, it indeed had burst out of the wall, and we just had mains pressure water spurting around the bathroom. So onto the phone and towels and patting the poor customer on the back, and then we had another one about 2 hours later when I'm still sort of mopping up the first mess. Our toilet is blocked. And, oh God.
Ooh.
I'll
I'll take the first over the second.
Yeah.
The second's a mess. Yeah.
So onto the phone again, and all I can say is if you come to Thailand and you stay sort of out of the cities, there are often signs in the bathroom saying,
don't flush the toilet paper. Yeah.
Don't put toilet paper down.
Yeah.
I got to see, after they'd removed the toilet, and I've actually got photos if you want me to show you,
No.
of what happens to a, what do they call the pits?
Septic tank.
Septic tank. If you put the... didn't smell, actually. It was interesting that it sort of worked. So we had to put new pipes, so that's going to... It was about 100,000 baht day altogether.
Well, you would be an innkeeper. You chose this life.
Yes. So that was my day, but I ended up with a smile on my face because I don't have any other choice. There's a Christmas tree behind us.
Ho, ho, ho!
So
love Christmas.
we have entered the Christmas season. You don't love Christmas.
Oh, I do.
You don't have a Christmas tree in your place?
No, I
There's
don't.
no
I
room
don't
for
do
it.
that. I did 4 productions of A Christmas Carol by Charles Dickens. I can sing a bunch of carols if you want.
I've done a number of pantomimes over the years,
Yeah.
which are a very Christmassy thing in the West.
Yeah, I love the secular Christmas. I love Santa Claus, Charlie Brown's Christmas special.
And you'll come to
And
Christmas dinner?
Yes, of course.
course.
And I
Free
love a free
feed.
meal. I love a free meal. But Dickens, I think, who taught the West, this is how we celebrate Christmas. I just love that story, a redemption story, Ebenezer Scrooge, the redemption story. I love everything about that. The fake snow on stage, shredded cellophane falling. I just
Was it Charles
dig all
Dickens or
that.
Coca-Cola? I think
Well, okay, yeah,
Coca-Cola
both-
invented the sort of the modern Santa Claus.
Perhaps, yeah. They share the responsibility for that. Yeah.
Anyway, I digress. So that was my
Merry
day.
Christmas, Merry impending Christmas.
I hope yes.
And
How
the-
many weeks have we got?
And the war
Three
on Christmas
weeks.
doesn't exist. That's a fallacy. That's a fantasy. There's no war on Christmas. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy Hanukkah, whatever you want. There's no war on anything.
I have a broad range of topics to talk about
Excellent,
today.
excellent.
The first one was because again talking about
Ooh.
my little business,
Yes.
talking about me for a change.
Oh.
No, you can just leave.
I'll listen. I'll
Okay.
do your job. I'll listen.
I am fascinated by every customer needs to know where they're coming to, so I have to send them a map. So every customer gets sent a map, either by me or by the providers, Airbnb, Booking.com, whoever. And 50% of my customers cannot read maps. I mean, it's a thing.
I'll bet. Yeah.
So in the old days, we used to have the thing that you'd sort of unwrap and you
Right,
could
a
never
paper
wrap it back
map,
up again.
yeah.
And you'd sort of be turning it around.
Oriented north, south, east, west.
Some people, but other people, they couldn't ever get it oriented
Yes,
right. And they'd
yes.
and those sort of people exist now with Google Maps, and no matter what, they cannot understand the map. And so I get these calls. Yesterday, the taxi driver took them who had the map in front of him, took them from the airport. I get the phone call. Hi, we're at the front of your place. We can't find it. I said, well, can you look around? I can see some signs for Cowlack. So that's half an hour up the road. So the taxi driver just drove straight past us to go to Cowlack.
Yeah.
And 50% of our customers cannot read the map.
Yeah.
So
This is-
you can turn it on and it'll tell you.
This is the villain. This is the villain. This is why people drive off the ends of piers, because the Siri or whoever tells them this is the way, and they just drive into the water or into a
Well, that
brick
happens a
wall or
lot
whatever.
less these days, to be fair. But I think Google Maps is amazing. It gives you traffic, it'll give you
Yeah.
aerial views, all that. But there are some people who just don't have the brain space to understand maps, which is okay, but it doesn't really help my business.
I was taught how to read a map in elementary school. They don't teach that anymore. They don't.
But beyond the education side of it, I think there are some people who literally cannot. Like, I can't
All right,
learn
well,
foreign languages because
no.
I'm stupid when it
Yes.
comes to foreign languages.
Yes.
Only that element, by the way.
Yeah, that we know of so far. Yeah.
But when it comes to reading maps, some people just cannot. And you show it to them and you point out, see here, this is where they can't get it.
No.
To turn the thing on to turn left, turn right. But then there are some people that don't know their left from their right.
Ha! Yeah, my mother is dyslexic. She has to hold, when she's driving, just take her hands off the wheel and do this, because her left hand makes an L, right? Seen from this side, that's
you
an L.
go.
That's left. But she has to take her hands off the wheel to do that when she, turn left, Mom. Okay. Yeah.
The person who had the tattoo, there was a tattooist after Geelong won the grand final in Australia in Australian rules football. And so he wrote down left hand, da-da-da-da, right hand, da-da-da, the losing team, which I think was Hawthorn. And so the tattooist put left arm, actually the world.
Labeled his arms.
Yeah, so
Is it-
he'll always know his left from his right.
Is it pronounced Geelong or Geelong?
Geelong.
I'll be damned. Huh. I had no idea. I've been saying Geelong all these years.
That's why you've never been there, and you never will.
No, never will. Yeah.
It's a nice town on the coast.
I'm sure it is. I
About
just
an
don't.
hour out of Melbourne.
I don't ever want to leave this place.
No,
So,
I know
yeah.
you've
Yeah.
made that abundantly clear.
Yeah. Write it down. I won't have to say it again.
So, what do you know about people? If there are people in your family that just cannot read maps, I'm fair dinkum. Fair, that's such an Australian word.
Yeah.
I'm 100% honest with you in saying that 50% of our customers cannot read maps. It might be saying something about my customers, although I'd say I've got a fairly wide and varied United Nations of customers. But, otherwise lovely, educated, pleasant people who can afford a nice beach house on a Thai beach cannot read maps.
Yeah. Isn't it amazing? 100 years ago, anybody who traveled to Asia from Europe or the Americas would by necessity have to be able to read a map. Even if you're a passenger on a steamship, you would be tracking your progress. You would know you're going to Siam, and here is Siam on the map. I can find it. Now it's not necessary. Now we get on a plane and we go somewhere, and we trust the pilot knows where to go.
Well, yes.
We're losing a lot, you guys. We're losing a lot because of these. These are only useful for watching this show, nothing else.
Oh, tell us. That would be interesting. What do you watch us on? Do you watch us on a TV? Do you watch us on an IMAX movie screen?
On drugs?
That'd be good. An
Oh,
IMAX screen.
Yeah, 365 degrees of Steve and Tim.
Steve's missing tooth would be about 5 meters wide.
Yeah, you could park a car in there. Yeah.
Or do you watch us on your phone, which I think is a terrible waste because we film this in CinemaScope.
Yeah.
And so it's such a shame if you're losing all the details. You're losing all the nuance.
Turn the phone sideways. It gets bigger.
Oh, and that's interesting.
Yeah.
Because, how many people sort of spend their day we used to watch everything like,
Yeah.
there's a lot
Sure.
to unpack there.
Yeah.
And we will talk about the fall of Hollywood later because you were on the periphery of that industry.
Well, I was in film production, but in New York City, not Hollywood. But I think for the purposes of this conversation, we can call them synonymous. Yeah, I was a prop man in the movie industry.
Yeah.
Yeah, I worked on movies that won Academy Awards.
You worked with Steven Spielberg.
No, Spike Lee.
George Lucas.
Spike Lee, Jonathan Demme. I worked with Jonathan Demme. Who else? Oh God, what's his name?
Oh,
Anyway,
him.
yeah, but the only credit anybody ever recognizes now is a movie called Do the Right Thing by Spike Lee. I was the set decorator on Do the Right Thing, and the best set I ever did in my life was Sal's Pizzeria, and they burned it to the ground at the end of the movie.
I thought your
something.
model of the Titanic in the movie of the same name was some of your finest work.
Built completely of cigarette lighters. A lot of people don't know that. But yeah,
Right.
I made the Titanic out of cigarette
That's
lighters.
why you don't have any black cigarette lighters
Right,
left over.
I used them all up. Right, yeah.
But I mean, life size, that was pretty amazing.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It was 150 feet long.
I had a big backyard in those days, a lot of room to work.
Yeah,
so,
yeah. So you thought the Ark was difficult to build. You should have seen this. So well done. We'll talk
Thank
about
you.
Hollywood a bit later. But before then, what did I have? I've got 18,000 things to talk about. Oh, I've been talking a lot
Yes.
because I sort of talk about Thai news from time to time.
I've heard that you do, yes, that you're interested in it. Current
And
events.
The issue of visa exemption
Oh, God, visas.
and visas comes up. And they've changed the visa exemption extension rules.
Okay.
Not the visa exemption, all the visas, just the visa exemption. But as I've explained to you, I'm about to use sock puppets and whiteboards and flowcharts and
Every damn week.
Venn diagrams to try and explain to people. But a bit like maps, there are some people who just cannot understand
Yeah.
the visa exemption program.
Yeah.
And I honestly, it is not that complicated, but people make it complicated. And they make it about them.
Yeah.
Oh, the Thai government is targeting me.
Yes. Oh, and people just love drama, and there's a lot of people in this kingdom. Once you're retired, or you've settled here, and you don't have a lot to do, you golf maybe, or you scuba dive, or whatever you do. You build turtles. You have a lot of free time. I think most Westerners living in Thailand have a lot of free time to sit and worry about stuff and go sit in a bar and talk with their buddies about, oh, it's an attack. Oh, they don't want to. Oh, if we leave, the economy will collapse, and all this kind of drama. And it injects a little drama into what can be a dull life. Expatriate life, if you're not careful, can become very tedious and dull, particularly if you let her drag you up to Nakhon Nowhere and you put all your money in a piece of land for her family and a house for her family and a pickup truck for her family, and then you're stuck sitting in your one air-conditioned room watching motorsports on YouTube.
Well, if you've got air conditioning.
If you've got it, well, you'll have it in one room, the Farang room, and you know, it can be a very dull life. And so a little bit of drama, oh, they're targeting me, ooh, you know, it adds a little spice, I guess, to an otherwise tedious life.
So now you've pissed off half the audience.
Sorry, dudes.
So in relation to that, what do they often say when they feel targeted by Thailand and the change of rules? What's the first thing they say?
If we leave, the economy will collapse.
And where are they going?
Oh, the Philippines? And anywhere, Cambodia,
Vietnam.
maybe? Vietnam.
So in relation to, we're going to Vietnam. Vietnam's much better. So I actually uncovered during the week that there is paid, well, I assume they're paid, trolls to promote Vietnam.
Yeah.
Because anytime I have Vietnam in my title or something, and I might be talking about visas or whatever, I get all these messages. Oh, I much prefer Vietnam. It's a great place. I moved there 5 years ago. Best decision I ever made. And I keep on getting these messages until I started discovering the messages were repeating under different names.
Yeah,
identical 3-paragraph. I'm thinking, these are paid trolls.
Yes.
So it was the Vietnamese Tourism Association paying people to troll YouTube channels in Thailand?
Yeah,
Are they actually sort of trying to pick off one by one?
Well, and Cambodia did it during the recent war. They had all kinds of trolls putting out AI slop about Thailand's over, Thailand's done, Thailand forcing out expats and all this kind of stuff. And the last 3 American elections were decided by bots in social media. So
Yeah.
it works. It works. People cannot.
Brexit was decided
Right,
by...
Brexit was decided by bots in social media, and people, run-of-the-mill generally, have a hard time distinguishing this fabricated stuff from real interactions with real people with real ideas on social media.
Which is... And we're going to talk about the word of the year in just a moment, because I think that the word of the year should be enshittification with an E-N, enshittification.
Yes.
Because we are getting the enshittification of social media such that why bother?
Yeah.
Because when you start talking about things, half of what's coming back at you are trolls, AI. It's not actual people saying, I disagree with you. So this is a big problem. And I think a lot of people will slowly just back away from this thinking...
I have.
Yeah.
I use Facebook to show off my turtles. Nothing else. No political speech, nothing personal, no pictures of my kids anymore, no pictures of me doing anything except making turtles.
I think the porn's pretty good.
The porn?
Yeah, that you produce.
my fans only account?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Only
considering
fans.
I'm alone in every frame of it, yeah, I think it's pretty mesmerizing. It's worth watching, folks. Yeah.
So, yes.
My name on OnlyFans is Lance Dickens, if you want to find my account. Lance Dickens.
That's your porn name.
That's my porn name, yeah, on OnlyFans.
Oh, we're not going to go anywhere there. We're going to have a talk about the word of the year. I think it should be enshittification, because the enshittification of, not just really social media, but the internet is just causing a lot of disruption to the way that we get along with each other. And I see this as a big problem, Steve.
Yeah, well, in the way we vote, the way we purchase things, the movies we see, the books we read, nobody
Who we
reads
vote
books.
for.
Who we vote for, yeah. It's all being controlled by algorithms and bots and Mr. Putin's, workshops full of 20-somethings creating all this crap who are now going to be put out of work by AI.
Very surprised to see the Vietnamese tourist board has got these trolls. Yeah. Okay, so what is the word of the year? And I'll give you a clue that my beef with the word of the year, according to Oxford Dictionary, which is the correct dictionary, by the way, for the English language. What do you have in America? The Webster's rubbish.
We have Webster's. We have the OED.
Ugh.
Typically, a library will carry more than one dictionary, yeah.
So my bitch with it is that it's 2 words. It's not 1 word. How can you have the word of the year is 2 words?
I don't know. I'm not here to defend the Oxford English Dictionary. I'm sorry.
Can you give them a call?
Yeah,
You got
let me
contacts
put that.
there?
Let me put that in.
You're
my,
always correcting them.
Hey, it's Steve. How's Mr. Oxford
What
today?
noise does it make again?
Boop, 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 boop.
So, what is the word of the year? It's got to do with the internet.
AI slop.
That's a very good guess,
Of
but
course.
you would be wrong.
Okay. And shitification, no.
No, it should be.
I don't know. What is the word of the year according to the OED?
Rage bait,
Oh, yeah, that's 2 words.
which is defined as highlighting and posting intentionally inflammatory content.
Yeah.
As I stare at the camera and some of our commenters. So, rage bait, people just posting things to get a reaction.
Sure. Yeah.
And a lot of that from trolls, of course, but some people just think it's fun. Influencers, they'll just wildly exaggerate something or just post complete bullshit.
Or just pick a topic that they know is a hot button topic. And that's because we have been trained by these stupid machines
Okay,
to do that because it drives engagement. And that means more eyes seeing advertisements. So we have been trained to not post pictures of cats playing the piano, not post pictures of our new grandchild, post a picture of your political yard sign, post a picture of your political t-shirt, post a picture of, or simply share one of those manufactured memes by the bot farms in the Ukraine. We're doing it because we've been trained to do it.
Okay, let's just backtrack, say, 30, 40, 50, 60 years and look at the way the media used to choose a headline for the front page.
All right.
It was chosen, we'd call it clickbait these days, but it was chosen because it would be the most popular, interesting topic of the day. In those days, chosen by an editor.
Right.
Now, even when I pick my story of the day, I'll check with Google what is the most important or most searched for trending topic in Thailand at the moment, and I'll use that as a guide to, and I'll write my headline in such a way that it will entice viewers to look at it, because that's the business that I'm in. Now, I don't think I go as far as rage bait, but do you think people look at their phone and they go, "Oh, I've got to react to that.
Yes.
Rage.
Yes. And I think there's a difference. 60 years ago, there was an expression, if it bleeds, it leads. The most dramatic, most bloody, most violent story got the headline because more people will buy that newspaper than if you put the latest tax assessment, property tax assessment in your community, even though everybody reading that newspaper is going to pay a higher tax every year going forward because of the city council's decision to raise property taxes. They won't buy the newspaper to learn that. They'll buy the newspaper to learn there's been a 20-car pileup on the freeway and a school bus full of nuns went off a cliff. But that's different. That's sympathy. That's humanity. That's reaching for and tickling your sympathy bone. What it's doing now is your rage bone. They're not picking the most violent, bloody crash. These days, a school bus full of nuns going over a cliff won't get the headline. It'll be some politician saying something outrageous about an ethnic minority, about a gender, about whatever.
On that, are the politicians actually engaging in rage bait? They say something that is going to enrage people, typically the opposition party, wherever you are, because they want to get the headlines. They want to get the people clicking on their phones.
Yeah, and they're not trying to enrage the opposition. They're trying to enrage their own followers. Be afraid of these people. These people are taking your jobs. These people are eating the dogs and the cats. Whatever it is, you're pandering to the base. You're not trying to enrage the opposition. You don't want the opposition to be upset, because upset voters go to the polls and vote. And as long as for the next few years when votes really matter, I think eventually how we vote won't matter at all.
In that case, rather than rage bait, it's sort of rage buffet. They're just feeding the base.
Yeah, throwing red meat to the base. Yeah.
So rage buffet, there's a new one for you. I just made that up.
Call the OED. There's still time to change the word of the year. There's a few days left.
I'm still putting in shitification at the top. What do you think the word of the year should be? Do you have a word of the year? Other dictionaries, by the way, had other words, but they were very uninteresting. But Oxford, you still need to explain how the word of the year is 2 words. Unless there's no hyphen or anything.
No.
Okay, so
it is the expression of the year.
Do you want to just do your book of the week rather than the word of the year?
Well,
and then we'll talk about the fall of Hollywood.
Angels of Patia by some pen name, not anybody's real name. What's interesting, inside the secret world of Thai prostitution. So there's 2 interesting things about this. What's secret about Thai prostitution? Walking Street is 10 blocks long, and it's lit with neon, and it's 24 hours a day, 365 days out of the year. Soy Bangla, it's all very public.
Soy 6, I think, is the big one in Pattaya these days.
There's nothing secret about it. But we were talking about these faux documentaries of the dark side of Thailand, a peek behind the veil. It's all the same thing. And when we used to read books, it was used to sell books, just like now it's used to sell
rage
content.
Bait. Inside the secret world of prostitution, it's rage bait.
No, it's lust bait. It's sex. And I'm afraid to actually go to some place, to Amsterdam or whatever, and partake as a consumer in the sex industry, or I'm planning to have a holiday in one of these places, and I plan to participate in the commercial sex industry as a consumer. Therefore, I'm going to do my own research, and here's a book that's going to tell me what these girls really think of me. Yeah, it's going to tell me all the secrets. It's the same thing, whether you're selling YouTube content or you're selling a book or you're selling a papyrus scroll with inked illustrations of people engaged in sex. It's all just selling titillation.
Papyrus scroll.
Yeah.
The ancient
Caligula
Egyptians.
used to give them as gifts to Tiberius. He would gather pornography.
In their own words, the bar girls of Pattaya reveal how they became involved in vice. Their lives, their homes for the future, what they think of their customers, in inverted commas.
I'm sure it's all made up.
By G.T. Gray, one of the finest writers of our time.
Even if, he wrote a book, 50 Shades. Even if you actually went and interviewed 20 sex workers, how much of what they told you would you assume was the truth? What profits them to tell you the truth? In their world, telling a John the truth is a mood killer.
Well, yeah, that's sort of the reason that they get you involved in the first place is just a a litany of lies.
Yeah.
And sort of magic mirrors
Yeah.
to extract money from you.
Yeah, and there are people in the sex industry who come from financially secure backgrounds, but they've got a drug problem. They've got a personality disorder. Their family kicked them out. And I'm not talking wealthy, but, women who grew up in a middle-class neighborhood where their parents had jobs and they went to school, but for some reason they can't hold down a regular job. They're not going to tell a John that. They're going to tell a John, I come from up country and the buffalo's sick.
A
and my
John
mother
is a
died."
customer.
Yes. And why would anybody assume that interviewing 20 bar girls is going to get you even 2 truths?
All I can say is this book has been well read. It's got tattered corners.
Yeah.
It's been very well read.
Yeah.
Which year was it written?
Well, I don't know.
Inside the Secret World of Thai
Secret.
Prostitution.
It's all a big secret.
And it was all rights reserved. I'm looking for a date. The ISBN, that doesn't help me. Published by Maverick House.
Yeehaw,
The
cowboy.
good people at Maverick House. Here's the date. 5,432. There we go.
532.
Okay, anything else you'd like to say about
No,
Angels of
except that it's
Pattaya?
been going on forever. The Dark Side of Thailand by the BBC or whatever, it's been going on forever. There's nothing new under the sun, and it's all just meant to sell, to draw eyeballs and sell advertising. That's all.
So when are you going to write your book about the
What?
pitfalls of living in Thailand or something?
I've written 5
I
books.
know, I
Not
know.
that you've ever. You halfway through that sentence, you realized, didn't you?
Yes, I
Yeah.
did.
Yeah. Has not read a single word of anything
No,
I've ever written.
I started-
Doesn't watch my videos.
I do watch your videos.
You do not.
I get about
You
2
do
minutes
not.
in and
See? Yeah. He's my best friend.
so.
Says more about me than
50% of people, Vietnamese trolls. Oh, okay. Oh, no, we won't talk about that one. We'll talk about the fall of Hollywood.
Norell, you got to bring him a notebook.
So,
His phone is not doing him any favors.
yeah, I have to sort of dig through and press
Yeah.
the button and things. So, this was an interesting story I saw during the week, and
I'll be the judge of that. Go on.
I think that it is a metaphor for many, many, many things, but the fall of Hollywood is actually real.
Yeah.
The golden days of Hollywood
Yeah.
are now in the rearview mirror. And this once amazing creative industry that was spreading American soft power to the world, that
Yeah.
was a big, big money spinner for the United States.
And was deciding elections. Yeah.
Yeah. It's falling by the wayside. Now, there'll be people already going, oh, it's because it's woke. So, okay, well, that might be part of it, but it's actually much more nuanced than that.
Yeah.
And so I actually have been studying this and doing some reading on it. And it all started back in the sort of the 70s and 80s when these big studios who were owned by families and by sort of mega Louis Mayer and
David O. Selznick.
and Zanuck, all
Yeah,
those
Daryl
famous
F.
names.
Zanuck, yeah.
All those famous names I can't
Good
remember.
for you. Wow.
But they were bought out by these other companies and then run by accountants.
Yeah.
And the accountants weren't going to be putting money into a 3-person ensemble movie about a sort of a East European immigrant.
Yeah.
They would much rather make Marvel movie number 17,
Yeah.
which is assured of some sort of level of success. It's safe.
Yeah, they are risk averse. Anybody who has been, well, not anybody, and again, I don't know high finance, but I think for the most part, people who've been successful with capitalism are risk adverse. And certainly there's a lot less risk making the 17th Marvel movie. This is a brand that in print has been around since the end of World War II. The muscle-bound guy in tights and a cape has been around absolutely forever and successful absolutely forever. So rather than take a chance on a young auteur with a vision, we're going to go with something safe and sane and secure and well-known.
Top
And-
Gun 17.
Yeah.
Rambo
you
19.
can't. They are accountants. They are bean counters. You cannot blame them for counting beans, but you get a product that looks like it was made in a boardroom by a committee of people in suits who've never in their lives done anything creative. And it's a lot like YouTube. You see so many videos by retired builders or retired investment analysts who've never in their life painted a picture, who've never in their life written a sonnet, who've never in their life attempted to make anything creative, and now they're making half-hour videos that are crap. And it's the same thing happening in Hollywood. The suits took over, and we see the result. We get art by suit, and it's terrible.
And then it was quite obvious that the first couple of decades of the 20th century, Hollywood was becoming quite preachy. A lot of the movies were made...
The message.
Yeah, were made with a sort of a bit of a, not necessarily political bias, but a societal bias. The whole DEI thing.
The girl boss.
Sort of crept in.
Yes, the girl boss.
So that in the remake of Aladdin, the sort of real life remake, it wasn't Aladdin or the genie who were the heroes. No. It was the princess who became the hero. And the same problem happened with Snow White.
Yes.
And the 7 GI
nightmares, the 7 nightmare creatures, whatever the hell they were meant to be.
CGI. Sorry.
Again, that's art by committee, and it sucked. It was terrible. But in their defense, I want to make a point, because I've sat in those meetings. The guys making the decisions, the men in suits making decisions about what direction this movie goes in or whether to greenlight this project or not, they don't give a shit about politics. They're not woke. They are absolutely unconcerned with societal issues.
Bottom line.
They think there's an audience for the girl boss because women choose the movie on date night, and the only reason anybody goes to a theater anymore is on date night. You go for the social experience, you take a date, and women always choose the movie on date night. So they thought the girl boss would be a moneymaker. They thought chasing the modern audience, and thank you to the critical drinker for that phrase. If you like movie reviews, the critical drinker, he's a Scottish guy. He's got a YouTube channel.
Oh, yes.
I love his stuff. The critical drinker. I could listen to him all day and sometimes do. But they only make those decisions because they think they're going to cash in. They don't give a rat's ass how you vote. They don't give a rat's ass what church you go to. They don't give a rat's ass what gender you are, what bathroom you use. They did all that stuff for the last 20 years because they thought they'd make money, and they can't figure out what else to do. They've seen now Captain Marvel didn't make any money. Madam Web didn't make any money. It's a Marvel property, but it didn't make any money. Why not? They don't know what to do.
The last Indiana Jones movie, which I was looking forward to, got ruined by that completely unnecessary female sidekick. There's a place, obviously, for women in movies. Don't get me wrong. But it did become a bit preachy.
And they made Indiana Jones the sidekick. They made Luke Skywalker the sidekick. They made, they take all of the...
Did they?
Yeah, Luke Skywalker, Rey, in the 3 movies with Rey.
Oh, okay.
The Last Jedi.
Yes,
Luke Skywalker's all alone on an island drinking green alien milk from the nipple. I mean, it's terrible. What they did to the character of Luke Skywalker in the Star Wars movies, it's just horrific. These are heroes. These are icons. And they're turning them into sidekicks for girl boss. And again, the first Alien movie, Sigourney Weaver is the prototypical girl boss.
Yes.
She's the captain of that damn ship when the movie opens.
And the second one, too. The second
Aliens. Yeah, she's tougher than any of the Marines.
Great movie.
But it works because it's written beautifully, it's directed well, and it's acted. She acts that role without being smug and supercilious to the men around her, and without making the men around her look like total saps. So I got no problem with a girl boss if she's done right. All right, breathe, Steve. Is the green line...
Rage bait.
Rage bait. I lean into the mic and that green line goes all the way. I'm sorry.
Sure.
To the viewers at home, I'm sorry.
To the viewer.
I'll breathe.
What was the last movie you saw in a cinema?
Oh, wow. Oh, I went to Phuket and I saw a Marvel movie called, is it Thunderbirds? It's the new Avengers, but the title was Thunderbirds with a asterisk.
Oh, that helps.
Was it Thunderbirds or anyway?
The asterisk would have made
I
me go.
liked it. It got slammed. It's got a girl boss. The leader of the new Avengers. It's not Iron Man. It's a girl boss. It got slammed by the critics, but I had a good time, and I think that was the first time I was in a theater
That'd be last year.
since the early 2000s. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I went to buy turtles. I bought 11 turtles.
The last two. Thanks for asking. The
Hey,
last.
Tim, what was the last movie you saw in a theater?
I can't actually remember the last movie, but the last two times that I've been sitting in a cinema, I've been watching concert movies.
Oh, okay.
Like concerts that were filmed
Yeah.
to be shown in the cinema. So I actually haven't gone to see, a big Hollywood
A narrative.
a narrative. The other reason that there's this big fall of Hollywood is because you don't need a great big 2-ton IMAX camera
Yeah.
and all the film stock to make a movie these days. You can get something a little bit bigger than an iPhone, or you can even shoot it on the iPhone and then fuck around with it in sort of post-production. But, they've got the cameras are much smaller, and you buy them off the shelf from companies that are not Panavision, that are not IMAX. And so that they're making movies all around the world
Yeah.
with, like here in Thailand. Well, an American crew can come here and use all the Thai talent, which is costing them a third of what they'd be paying in Hollywood. And so,
Or
again,
Vancouver.
It's the Vancouver or Toronto or
Yeah.
Georgia in the United
Or New
States.
Zealand.
Georgia has become a new
Yeah.
Centre for Movie Making
We have a
in
viewer,
America.
Nate Carr, who is a Georgia IATSE medic, set medic. He's a regular commenter. Hey,
A
Nate, how you
set
doing?
medic.
Yeah.
Oh, so he's providing an ambulance at the
Well,
set.
he's providing an EMT on the set as long as
all
you're
these
shooting.
words.
an
EMT.
emergency medical technician. And that's his role. He stands by and waits for a light to fall on someone's head or someone to pass out from heat stroke. I did a movie in Virginia in 1980, I think, and with Isabella Rossellini, and people were falling down from the heat on the set all the time, just collapsing from the heat. It was the hottest summer on record in Virginia.
Any other names you want to drop? The
I
Rossellini's.
gave no. I've told these stories a dozen times, and,
Okay.
and you don't like me repeating my stories. Did I ever tell you about the time me and Frank Herbert we spent a weekend together? Did I ever tell you
the
that
writer
story?
of June.
Yeah, the time
Right.
I gave Holly Hunter hives.
Yes.
Did I ever tell you that? Yeah, I did a dozen times. But at any rate, yeah. So Nate Carr is a set medic, and I don't know. Anyway, I know.
He's in Georgia.
He's in Georgia.
There you go.
Yeah,
So
he works in
Georgia has
Georgia.
become the sort of the centre of
Yeah.
American movie making,
Yeah.
but people making movies literally anywhere else in the world except Hollywood. So we
And,
go on.
The industry began in Hollywood because they had 350 days of sunlight every year.
Sure.
Well, now you're shooting everything in an aircraft hangar in front of a green screen. It doesn't. No Marvel movie is actually shot on the streets of New York City.
Well, they can just use natural light because the cameras are so much better. You
Or
can
that. Yes,
film in
or that.
sitting
Yeah.
in a restaurant in
Yeah.
Time Milan.
Thank you, Cloverfield. But yeah, it's no longer centralized to Hollywood. The gatekeepers are no longer important at all because anybody can put their movie out there. There's a channel, by the way, called Amuleto that features international short movies, short films, and I like Amuleto a lot. I like that channel. There's a lot of really good work done in short films on that channel.
So yeah, we are watching two old guys talking about nothing in particular, rather than going and sitting in a cinema.
Yeah.
So the the whole model of what is keeping us entertained has changed.
Yeah.
So what was the last movie you saw? I can't remember what the last movie I saw in a cinema. I went to those two concert movies, but I think it was maybe Aladdin, the Disney version of Aladdin. Well, the real life
Yeah.
remake of the cartoon.
Live action.
Which was filmed in which city? You thought it was Baghdad.
Oh, I've always thought the story of Aladdin was set in Baghdad. I always thought so. Yeah.
Well, according to the, it was originally written in the something of the 1,000 Days. What is it?
No, the Arabian Nights.
The Arabian Nights.
Where she had to, Scheherazade, in order not to be raped and murdered, she had to tell a story every night for 1,000 nights. And these were collected into Tales of the Arabian Nights.
That's right. And Aladdin was one of those tales.
Aladdin was one of those.
And it was, I always thought it was sort of Asia that it was set in, but you thought it was like Baghdad.
Oh, I thought specifically in Baghdad, yeah.
And maybe Disney have got a lot to, because they sort of painted it as a sort of a Middle Eastern town.
Yeah.
Anyway, there you
go.
go.
Your phone tells us originally when Scheherazade told the story, it was set in China. So why he'd be called Aladdin? Because Allah is God and Din is servant of or slave of, so it's slave of God, Aladdin. Why that would be a Chinese name, I don't know. And why an Arabian princess, to save her virtue, would be telling a story about China, I don't know. But
yeah, Alibaba, that's definitely a sort of a Middle Eastern name.
Yes, Alibaba, Sinbad.
Open Sesame is a famous Middle Eastern.
Sesame.
Anyway, let's go to Narelle's notebook, because we're sort of getting to that time of the day where people are getting a bit twitchy. They're thinking, oh, I need to go to the toilet.
Brought to you by White Labs, Patia. Thank you, guys.
Where's
still
my
no
Tim
Tim
Tams?
Tams.
Yes,
Still no
yes.
Tim Tams.
Be a nice Christmas
They
thing,
got
wouldn't
high
it?
and they forgot. It happens.
For Christmas this year, do you want to forego the turkey and we'll do something different?
Dude, it's your house. I'm coming for a free meal.
Yeah, I know.
And the socialization, the camaraderie, the fellowship.
You
the
just sit in
fellowship.
the corner and shut up.
I'll sit in the corner and sing carols, sing Christmas carols.
Sing with Mariah Carey. I'm starting to get a little bit sick of that song.
Already.
After 20 years.
It's December 7th. Happy Pearl Harbor Day, everybody. A date that will live in infamy. What a beautiful sonorous phrase. And he came up with it in like an hour. You know, American presidents used to be valued for their erudition, for being able to express themselves with language beautifully.
Quite, Piggy.
Yeah, exactly. We've lost that. That era is over.
So the attack was, just after 8 a.m. in Pearl Harbor?
Something like that.
On the 7th of December, 1941.
Yes. Also here...
I remember it, but I don't actually remember
They
it.
attacked Thailand at the same date, on the same date. It doesn't get as much press, but yeah. And there were battles, I think, Songkla, on the coast. The local militias and the cops stood up to the Japanese, and there were some deaths on both sides. And then Pibun Songkram said, whoa, we're Thai. We don't mess with all that violence and aggression. Come on in. Have some rice. Go down to Soy Cowboy. Relax for a while, and we'll talk about your little railway. And he worked out a détente with the Japanese, but there was, December 7th, there was fighting here in Thailand.
I think you somewhat simplified the
well, he was a complex
shortened version.
He was a complex man. Honest to God, B.J. Terweel wrote a beautiful biography of Pibun Songkram. There were two Thais who led the revolution in 1932. Pibun Songkram, who was an army officer, he was the George Washington, and Priti Panomyong was the lawyer. He was the guy who wrote the Constitution. He was the ideologue. He was the Thomas Jefferson, if you will, or Alexander Hamilton of the Thai Revolution. And they were still, in World War II, they were still in power in 1941. And at any rate, yeah, he was eventually prosecuted for war crimes because he collaborated with the Japanese. But he left the country, I think, in a robin's egg blue Thunderbird convertible with two suitcases full of $100 bills in the back seat.
Oh.
And he drove out of the country.
They're starting to write the movie already.
Oh, God. Oh, it would make a fantastic movie.
Sure.
That relationship, those two guys, for 20 years after the revolution, they handed off power back and forth, bitter enemies, but at the same time school chums and good friends.
So officially, Thailand was neutral during the war, but it did this deal with the Japanese.
Well, they did declare war. They were told by the Japanese to, if you want to be part of the Southeast Asia co-prosperity sphere, you have to declare war on the Allied powers. So they did. They sent declarations of war to France, England, Australia, Canada, and the United States. But Seni Pramod, who was the ambassador to Washington, conveniently lost the declaration of war in his lower right-hand desk drawer, never delivered it to the White House. So at the end of the war, Thailand did not have to pay reparations to the United States. They did to other countries, but not to the United States, because the Pramod family, they're very crucial in this country.
I've sort of read bits and pieces of this history, and you've put it very well together in about 2 minutes.
Erudition, baby, it's what I do. I'm the language guy.
As I tell people, I said, go and talk to Steve Ross. He's got a fantastic house. You'll love seeing his turtles, and he'll be telling you lots of stories, some of which are true.
And he'll be constantly pinching his nose. Man, today, my eustachian tube, it's really bad today. I don't know why. I think it's barometric pressure. Last time we did this show, go back and rewatch last week. I didn't pinch my nose once. Today, God, it won't stay shut. All right. Excuse me.
Clearing your throat. Thank you to Norel for the notebook, and thank you to White Labs for the Tim Tam. Sorry, thank you White Labs for sponsoring Steve.
An actor prepares red leather, yellow leather, red leather, yellow leather. Just in an aside, you know, I go through, before we do this, I go through all the comments. So last week, we got 8,000 views, 346 comments. That is a 4% return on investment. 4% of our viewers commented. To put that in perspective, I went and looked at some other Thailand YouTubers. Bangkok Pat's latest video got a 1% return. Now he gets 20, 30,000 views, but his show, that's him and Carl from Carl's Thailand, they do a thing called One Bot Wisdom, which is this. And they get 20, 30,000 views, but a 1% return. Like 300 comments on 30,000 views.
Well, I think their video is more about question and answer. Hello to Bangkok Pat. And so they're sort of answering the questions, and it doesn't... We talk about other issues that perhaps invite, and I invite people's comments. So maybe we're just more... We sort of want more people talking about things rather than just answering the questions.
We're thirsty and needy. I don't know.
More needy, yes, we're more needy.
Keese won, if that's how you pronounce it.
Keese, yes, Adam, hello.
0.8 return. Again, much bigger audience. But a smaller,
more popular.
Well, much more popular. But a 0.8 return in terms of comments, engagement. Retired working for you. 142,000 views,
amazing.
4,000 comments, which is 3%, which is almost up to our spectacular 4%.
He's very, very popular.
Yes.
Sounds like Liberace, but very, very popular.
Yeah, he has a very distinctive delivery.
And very tall.
Very Canadian.
Very tall.
Canadian. Sorry.
I told you the story about when I met him last?
No, I don't think so. Tell me.
I met him at 5 Star Marine.
Okay.
I told you what he said.
Oh, yes.
Yes, don't repeat it.
Yeah, I won't know. I won't.
Okay.
The subject from last week that got the most response was homeschooling. Yay or nay? Like or dislike? And I didn't count the responses, but my feeling is it was about split 50-50. My feeling is if you're not forced by pandemic, or by geographical isolation, if you're not growing up on a cattle ranch in Montana 100 miles from the nearest school, then no, teaching is a gift. And very few parents will be blessed with that gift. if they have that gift, they're in a classroom all day. They're not home teaching their kids. So I think it's a profession. Teaching is a profession and a gift and an art, and it should be entrusted to gifted teachers.
So what is the law in America about you can take your children out of school and teach them at home? That's just guaranteed in the Constitution or something, is it? What's the story?
No, I don't know. It's certainly not in the federal Constitution, but you can get dispensation. Again, much of America is people living on cattle ranches in Montana. There's a long history of children growing up in isolation and having to be taught at home.
Okay.
Now, my dear friend Amy,
Have some water.
that was her job. She was the
Teacher.
because you have to get a certificate from, at the end of your education, you have to get a diploma. Your parents cannot give you a diploma. So you have to go in and be tested by a school system somewhere
Okay.
and get a diploma. So Amy was that contact. She was the homeschool support for the Iowa City school system. And before COVID, excuse me, I think she had like 100 students. And then COVID hit, and it was every student in the district.
Yeah.
Every
sure.
student, and there were 3 teachers in that office. So the kids would come in and they would have 3 hours a week, I think, of classroom. They would get tested. They would get help with their homework. They would socialize with some other kids. And her job for COVID became very, very, very important, very stressful, and very rewarding. And then after she retired, she was retirement age at the end of COVID. But that system has always been in place in America. It is sometimes used by religious zealots who don't want their children taught humanism in school, and other sort of people who are committed to an ideology that is not supported in the public schools. But a lot of kids who just live far from school,
Yeah.
or kids with physical disabilities.
Well, there are legitimate reasons why
Yeah.
homeschooling is a good alternative.
Yeah.
But I think just because you think it's a good idea is not a good idea.
You know, my mother, there were 2 kids in her generation in Des Moines, Iowa, Betty Lee and Betty Ann. And, 2 girls in her generation. They were born about the same time. Betty Ann contracted polio when she was about 8 and was in an iron lung for a number of years and then just bedridden for a number of years. So because they lived 2 doors down the street from each other and they were the same age, Betty Lee, my mother, would come home from school every day and teach Betty Ann in bed what she had learned in school that day and give her the homework and check her homework. And my mom grew up to be a teacher, a career teacher. So, Betty Ann could not attend public school, but she did graduate with a diploma from the Des Moines schools because my mom, I think it was between the age of 8 and 14, something like that, she couldn't go to school. There are legitimate reasons for homeschooling, but I think it has to be on an as-need basis because teaching is a gift, it's an art, it's a science, and the random parent is not a gifted teacher. I certainly would not have been. We asked for some cute Thai nicknames.
Wow. Right, I was going to say, you spent a bit of time on that one, but let's see how we go with the next one.
Sorry, where are we? We're at 58 minutes.
Yes, that's what I mean.
I
Yes, so just bang through it, okay?
No! I'm going to save shit for next week.
Oh, of course.
We'll do cute Thai nicknames. My ex-wife is named Mem, which is often spelled M-E-M, Mem. As a loan word from English, Mem Sab in India, it means ma'am. Yes, ma'am. No, ma'am. It's a white-skinned child, a light-skinned female child born into a dark-skinned family will be called Mem. So that was my ex-wife's name. She had a cousin, Guitar, or Pita, Guitar. I knew some Americans who one night they went out to celebrate their anniversary to a sushi bar. They drank a bunch of Kirin beer, forgot to use birth control, had a baby, named her Kirin after the beer. We had Bubble, which would be in Thai, I suppose, Babun, and also Appun, very often, apple.
Apple.
But because of the L at the end of the word is unpronounceable to Thais, so it becomes Appun, shortened to Pun, which means gun. So you might assume her name is Gun. It's actually an abbreviated Apple. Golf.
Lots of golfs.
Lots of golfs. Someone said they knew a woman named Name. You have a Chang, a technician named Game.
Game, yes.
English loanwords. English loanwords are very, very popular. There is a name. She's got a channel, Cooking with Pooh. It's Pooh. It's crab. It's Pooh. But in English, it's spelled P-O-O. The P being an unaspirated consonant rather than PH like Phuket.
You keep your unaspirated consonants to yourself.
Beauty. A lot of women named Beauty. Cartoon. We have a little boy in our neighborhood named Toon.
You don't have to exaggerate the pronunciation quite as much.
Yes, I do. One of our viewers has a builder who named his daughters Build and Beam. Built and Beam.
Perfect.
Milk. Milk is a very popular.
Yes.
Pronounced meal. Mind. Someone said he knows a mind. M-I-N-D.
Yeah.
Mind. Yeah.
All over the place, aren't they?
Someone said they know an iPhone, and we know an email. There's a young woman in town has a noodle shop. Her name is Mail, Nang Mail, meaning email. And she is half of a pair of identical twins, and her sister has a related name that escapes me now. It's email and
Internet?
text or internet or... I didn't touch the table. Ozone. Someone said they know an ozone. Ozone. Yeah, so there's that.
Okay.
All right. Are
Interesting
we done?
Thai nicknames. No, do one more. Do something controversial. Do something rage-baiting.
How generous of you. Who sits in the front seat of a taxi? We had the Irish and the Scottish and the Aussies say, I sit in the front seat of a taxi.
Always.
I think I would not, but that's from New York. The only place I've ever really ridden taxis is in New York City, and you are not
But
allowed.
you can't actually get in the front
Yeah, you cannot.
seat.
They're
Right.
they're locked in bulletproof glass, so you
With
cannot.
these new robo-taxis, which are sort of starting to be experimented with, I'm interested because they are conventional cars, and there's just no driver.
Yeah.
And you see the wheels sort of doing this. And well, if it's meant to be an autonomous taxi, why even have the wheel? You just hide all that stuff. You don't need to have the blinkers. You don't need to have the dials with the speed. That sort of all goes in a black box in the front somewhere.
Yeah.
And let people sit in those front seats.
Well,
I don't know.
In the old TV show Knight Rider, he sat in the front. He sat in the driver's seat in front of the steering wheel. The car was doing all the driving.
What was the car's
and
name?
Talking to him. Oh,
Kit.
Kit. That's right.
Kit.
It
Good
was a
Thai
Kit car.
nickname.
It was a Kit car. Yeah.
There's no way that I'd get in an autonomous taxi. I would just not feel safe.
I'd have
Sorry.
to psych myself up for it.
Yeah.
You know, I'll ride in an airplane without ever seeing the pilot.
But you know the pilot's there.
He's there, but
With
we
an
assume
assistant.
90% of the time it is the machine flying itself.
Well, sure.
I would assume.
Yes,
so,
yes.
So I guess if I grew up with it, if I was a kid growing up today, I suppose I'd be used to it and not think anything about it. But being used to a driver, I would hesitate, probably. The best comment, in my opinion, this week was, I came to Thailand with nothing, and I still have most of it.
Left. Yes. I still got
Do you
most
want to
of it
step
left.
on my punchline
No,
again,
I'm
or is
sorry.
it that?
I
you've
read
never
it.
done this before. All right, are we done? Is that it?
Oh, is there anything interesting there?
Yes. We asked why is it called a 300-year flood down in Hat Yai, Songkhla, when there haven't been 300 years of consistent rainfall records. And someone said this is statistical hydrology. They look at the records they have and project backwards. And this is how they build the drainage systems for superhighways. They project what the rainfall will be based on the records they have.
Statistical hydrology.
Statistical hydrology. So you don't need records going back 300 years. You're making an educated guess. And that's why all the newspapers are reporting it's a 300-year flood.
Yeah, well, somebody said it, and then it sort of took off. Oh, that'll make a good headline.
Oh, I've got something controversial, and I'll finish with this. So I'm taking snooker lessons. We discovered we have a snooker hall here on Turtle Beach. Don't have a bowling alley, don't have a bar, don't have a disco, don't have
shopping center.
don't have a shopping center or a mall or a movie theater or anything. We have a snooker hall with 2 brand new, beautiful tables, beautiful straight cues. It's very well maintained.
Are they
It's
full-size
air-conditioned.
tables?
Yes.
Wow.
And they're air conditioned and they're empty. Well, almost empty, and during the day.
Do they sell beer or something
Yes,
as well? Right.
yes, and chips and snacks and
Okay,
things like that.
I get it.
And it's 120 baht for an hour. So
Each
no, for a table.
for a table.
And 15
Okay.
balls. You can have 15 balls, or is it 6 or 8? Anyway, you choose. It's the same 120 baht. So my Aussie friend Rob,
Hi, Rob.
you probably know Rob,
Of course I know Rob.
and he has agreed to teach me snooker. First thing he taught me was how to pronounce it. Snooker.
Snooker.
Yeah, snooker. Snooker.
Snooker.
So we go up there, and we're there the first day, and we're really enjoying it. And we get there, and we rent our balls, and Rob lays out the table with the balls, and he's explaining to me, this is 2 points, this is 3 points. You got to shoot the reds first, then you go for a color. And this Thai guy, who's some muckety muck, I've seen him around. He might be the owner. Older guy in his 50s. He comes up to us with a great big smile, and he reaches over and he rearranges the balls on the table. Rob has set it up so that if you're at the D and you're shooting to break, you've got green, brown, yellow, right? And the yellow's on your right as you're breaking. And this Thai guy comes over, reaches onto the table, and switches the green and yellow balls. So that now green is on your right and yellow's on your left as you're breaking. And Rob got really pissed off. He didn't go say anything, but he said, if he ever does that again, I'm going to tell him to stop. Is not knowing anything about snooker, how would you react if you were in Thailand and you were in a snooker hall and the owner came over and rearranged your balls before you broke on the table? How would you react? Would you confront him? Would you be Western aggressive? Because my feeling is, in a pool hall in America, if you touch the balls on the table and you're not playing that table, someone's going to hit you with a cue. You don't do that. You know, I shot pool, 8-ball when I was a kid. Men, you don't do that. You don't touch another man's balls. I'm sorry. And
Yes.
so I'm going to throw that out to the brain trust. What is the proper etiquette in a Thai snooker hall? And do they arrange the balls differently here? Was the Thai guy doing it the way he knew? Because I've been watching all these snooker videos, and the yellow ball's on your right, and all these snooker videos on YouTube, the yellow ball's on your right when you break. Anyway.
If it's the owner, then he can probably do anything with your balls that he wants to.
I would think in Thailand, yes, he can touch those balls, and you can smile, and when he turns around and walks away, which is what Rob did. He put the balls back, and since then, we've been there about 10 times, I think. We go Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, because it's something to do, and it gets me out of the house.
Sure.
Left to my own devices, I will self-isolate like mad. I'll stay in the house with my turtles all day long. Time I get up to the time I go to sleep. I'll feed myself, I'll take a nap, I'll smoke, I'll watch TV, I'll do turtles, and I'll be very, very happy alone in my house all day long. And that is not healthy. I've had at least 3 therapists tell me. So I do try to push myself to get out of the house at least once a day.
Well, it's good. Thank you very much, Rob, for
Yeah, babysitting Steve for an
the hard
hour
work.
3 times a week.
somebody's
Yeah,
got to do it.
contributing to Steve's mental health.
So
Yeah.
we used to have a snooker table in our, I suppose you call it the basement downstairs. And so I grew up with all the adults coming and playing snooker and a few other games, mostly snooker. But we used to also watch it on Sunday night on TV.
Mm-hmm.
The BBC used to have some sort of snooker series. I think the commentator was Whispering Ted Lowe. And now he's about to shoot the
Of course.
red ball into the pocket, and a fine shot there. And
Yeah.
yes, I think the competitor is showing great surprise at
Yeah.
the way he was able to cut that ball. It was just like,
He announced golf during the week in the same voice.
yeah. It was sort of all done. He was whispering Ted Lowe because he was like sitting,
Yeah.
so he could see but he had to be very quiet.
He never called a horse race.
No,
They
no,
never
no,
had him
no,
out
no.
to the track to call a horse race.
So snooker. There you go. There's some question about the pronunciation of the word.
Well, I mean, in America, I don't think I've never seen a
You play
snooker.
pool, don't you?
I played pool.
I played pool.
And never
Same
heard
thing.
of or played snooker. That is
Snooker.
how, looking at the word, I would just pronounce it snooker. But one of the first things that Rob did was correct my pronunciation and tell me it's pronounced like zoo, not put.
I think a snooker is a person who pinches ladies' underpants off the clothesline. I might be making that up.
That's Bob. You know Bob. Bob from down the street. Yeah. Bob. Yeah, he does that.
Your turtle.
Anyway, no, different Bob. It's a very common name.
Thank you for watching. If you got
Yeah.
this far, you're as silly as we are.
We'll know if you comment on snooker. We'll know you stayed to the end.
Yeah. Or they just scrolled through to the end. God, how long did they go for? What did they finish talking
Yeah,
about?
did Steve fix his tooth yet or not?
And hello to Adam, to Pat, to Chris, and all the other YouTubers out there. You all do a great job. Thank you very much for your time and consideration in making this platform great. Thank you too.
Thank you, Tim. I enjoy the invitation every week. And we're at the Aquella. We should mention we're at the Aquella Golf Course again.
With their
Christmas
tree.
decorations out.
There's links to Steve's books in the description. So you can wade on down there and go and buy Steve's books.
For the two people who still read books.
For Christmas, imagine.
They make wonderful gifts. Buy a bunch of them and give them to all your friends.
Yes, I'm not sure how you wrap up an e-book, but anyway, it could be fun.
Yeah, try. See what comes of it.
So we'll see you probably next week. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.